Welcome to part 5. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look on how to use import and partials in SASS. If you already used CSS before, you will probably know that you can import other files with CSS import function. The function that you can use in CSS is @import, and then inside single column you can specify your file name with the extension .css and then a semicolon at the end. This is really useful because it will avoid to have a huge file with all the declaration, classes, attributes all together, and gives you the ability to split a really big file into some separated small files to better update, better organize all your stuff. The bad thing about the CSS default import is that for every import it will create an HTTP call. So it means you will have a connection, a data connection every time you import an external file, and that is bad for the loading speed of your website. So let's use SASS to do it in a smarter way. First of all, let's create a new file called reset.scss. And inside this file, we want to use, hypothetically, all the classes that normally are inside a reset file. For example, we want to declare that our HTML and body have a margin of 0 and a padding of 0.2. And here we can put all the standard reset file to remove probably like box shadows, to remove padding, to remove margin, to style properly the UL, and all the other standard HTML elements. Let's save this, and now in our style.scss, it's our primary file, we can use a code really similar to CSS for the import, but slightly different. We have to always use @import space single quote reset, that is the actual name of the file, and that's it. We don't have to specify any extension because SASS automatically will detect that this reset file is an actual SASS file, so it's gonna handle this aspect for us. Let's save it, and automatically, if you notice in the output.css, the entire reset file has been added at the beginning where the import is. This function gives us the ability to import as many files as we want without worrying of multiple HTTP requests, and automatically SASS is going to compile all the imports different files into one huge single CSS file that we can minify it and just load one time in our website. To keep everything more organized, also SASS gives us the ability to use a function called partials. A partials is a file with an underscore at the beginning of the name as an appendix. This type of file are used to split our huge file and create other small subfiles to handle smaller snippets of code. So for example, in my case, I have the reset.scss. I want to rename this file just by putting an underscore in front of the reset name. Save it, and if I go in the style.scss and I save it, nothing is gonna happen here because SASS is smart enough to detect that this reset has just an underscore before, so it's the same file. We don't have to actually write underscore reset. SASS is gonna handle this for us without any problem. This underscore gives us the ability to organize all the partials files automatically at the top of our file tree. So it's way easier to maintain, way easier to read. So if, for example, in the previous lesson we tackled the mixins, could happen that most of the times we use multiple mixins, different animation type, different mixins for box shadows, for styling, and we don't want to put all the mixin in the same file, but we want to keep things separated. So we can just cut the mixins from the main file, create a new file called underscore mixins.scss, and inside here, let's paste the mixin. Let's save this file, and in the style.scss, we can just duplicate this line and import mixins. Save it, and automatically the output.css will be updated. As you notice here, the classes that uses the mixin like box1 or translate x are still working. I missed this translate X here, but I can just cut it, put it inside the mixin, save this file, and save this other file, and automatically this file is gonna be reloaded. To keep everything way more organized than it is right now, we can also create a subfolder called partials, where we can store and move all our file inside this subfolder to avoid to extend too much our list of file in the main SASS folder, and we can always collapse the folder and keep everything more organized. So now we have triggered an error because of course we moved the file, so SASS is not recognizing, is not finding anymore these files. So the simple thing that we have to do is just we have to include the folder in front, partials and partial / mixin. Save it again, and automatically the file is gonna be recompiled in the proper way. Thank you for checking this video and see you next lesson.